Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Chibi Noob.
I'm Envy Jitters.
I'm Cheerand.Cosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And we're back with more anime adaptations of DC stuff, mostly Batman, because, I mean, who doesn't like Batman? So, I don't know. You never know. Depending on the version of Batman, it can be pretty bad, or pretty good, or pretty nuts.
Yeah, I'm not sure this month is convincing me, to be honest.
It is interesting because of how little you've seen, and we're kind of going through the weirdest versions a little bit. This week was Batman Ninja. Probably one of the weirdest versions of Batman I've ever seen put to film, or digital video, whatever you want to consider it.
One of?
One of. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the weirdest one put to motion. All-Star Batman's probably the weirdest one in terms of just pure bastardization of the character. So
No. The sequel. Not the sequel to Aspar, but I would say the sequel to The Dark Knight Returns, also by Frank Miller. The Dark Knight Strikes Again is,
I'm sorry.
woof.
All-Star Batman sounds like it'd be Batman in basketball.
Honestly, would have probably been better. You know what, I shouldn't...
Space Jam Batman.
I shouldn't make too much fun, because I do have... Aspar is like the Room of comics. It's horrible when you read it on your own, but read it with a bunch of friends and make funny voices and stuff. It is one of the funniest books you will ever read. But we're not really here to talk about comics. We're here to talk about comic adaptations and the comical adaptations therein. So, Batman Ninja. This was 2018 CGI movie of Batman Isekai. So we're getting back to Isekai from 2 weeks ago, but this time Batman's there instead of just like a couple of his villains. A couple of his villains are here still, but you know.
Yes.
So, anyone had seen this before?
No.
This is my first time.
No.
Okay, so I'm on my own here. That's okay.
Yes.
I'm used to it. What was everybody's?
Well, when did you and Yin watch it?
2018 when it came out.
Wow.
We're both comic book Batman fans, and we were like, yeah, let's watch that. That'll be fun. And it was, and I had fun this time. I will elaborate on what kind of fun. But, yeah, what were your guys' initial thoughts when we started this?
I thought that it went about as I would have expected. It was very colorful and very over the top. So I'm not really a DC or comic book fan. So, like, for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't really know what's going on. I know a general gist of, like, who these people are and, like, what all goes on in their, like, world. I would say, like, I had fun in more, like, a way that's kind of, like, when you're just, like, throwing something on just because it seems really silly and you want to just watch the spectacle. The voice acting was fun, for sure.
Oh, yeah, we all ended up watching this together. Envy, you weren't with us. Did you watch sub or dub, just so we know?
Here's the thing. I looked at the cast beforehand, and I like a lot of the dub voice actors that were in it, but I figured if I'm going to watch this, I'm going to watch it the right way, or at least the way that God intended.
Oh.
I'm going to watch the sub.
Okay, that's
you
gonna be
got
interesting.
a much different movie than us.
Oh, yes, you did.
We're gonna circle back to that later, because apparently the dialogue between the dub and the sub is 90% different. So,
whoa, shit.
this will be interesting to discuss. But Chibi, please continue.
That's to go off of that. That's very much a difference between like what we as a Western audience expect to hear from a Batman movie or like a Batman cartoon, versus what an anime and a Japanese speaking audience would expect or would be speaking, since third language is a lot more formal. But that's neither here nor there. General impression, I had a fun time, even though not that I was lost, but it was like, you guys were mentioning things about characterization that like weren't making sense to you, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to ask questions about this tomorrow. Yeah,
I figured. It was one of the main reasons me and Yim were laughing so much at some of the things that were happening here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, those are my thoughts, so.
I will say this. Is this good? That's up for debate. Is this a perfect representation of Batman and his mythos? Not really, no. But did it make any sense at all? Not really, no. Not even in the logic of this universe. But did I have a blast watching? But did I have a blast watching it? Yes.
I mean, he's
Yes,
selling
I
it to
did.
me. I don't know about you.
It was stupid. It was insane. And it's exactly what I would expect the creators of the JoJo CGI openings would make.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
I was asking for JoJo Batman last week, and this is what I get. This is what happens when you get what you want.
Because here's the thing, too. We'll obviously go more into the story, but, like, you have a clan of Batman-inspired ninjas. You have a giant-ass mecha fight in ancient Japan between some of Batman's greatest rogues galleries. You have all 4 Robins. And you have Batman and Joker having a final confrontation in an old-school samurai fight on top of a giant burning mecha castle, while giant balls of monkeys and bats are fighting against each other. Is that not anime?
against
I don't
each
know
other.
what is.
They were fighting together, not against each other.
Well, that's what I meant to say.
They were fighting against
Is that not
Batman.
anime?
Honestly, if they had just added an alien, this could have been a Trigger show.
Probably.
Oh, they did the headbutt thing that they always do in Trigger shows.
Yeah. This wanted to be a Trigger show.
So, like I said, is this good? It's good in the sense of turn your brain off and just enjoy mindless insanity for 85 minutes.
Yeah.
That's my initial thoughts.
I didn't realize we were going in order.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well. I gotta go last because I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Sure. It's really pretty, but the animation is ugly.
So the JoJo OPs.
Such a bizarre concept, but I understand entirely what you're saying.
Yes.
Like, if you took, like, still frames, it's gorgeous, but, like, as soon as they start to move, it's like, no, stop that.
Your words don't make sense, but the thought does.
The lip flaps also don't make sense.
That's
Oh
really
my
funny
God,
because
yeah.
I felt like it looked animation-wise like any other kind of Telltale game.
That's what I was thinking.
I haven't played
Which
those
isn't
yet, but I'll take your word
Ugly
for
by
it.
animation standards.
I mean, it is a couple years back, so like 6 years now.
It's not
But
that
I would
far.
say like,
But we had some good animation in 2018, at least I would hope.
yeah, but still, I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely like we were watching, like we said, and we said this yesterday, like watching cutscenes from a video game.
Yeah.
Did very much feel like long video game cutscenes. Also, I take issue with the title. I think there was like, I don't know, 3 minutes of ninja in here. It was like 60% Gundam and 40% samurai.
It was even a samurai fight. It's the final battle.
I don't know. I would say 60% samurai, 40% Gundam. There wasn't as much Gundam as maybe I would have wanted for a Gundam.
But it's not a Gundam. It's a ninja.
You're right, it's not Gundam. It's not
no
quite
one did
Gundam.
anything ninja.
Feel like I should say I did fall asleep during this.
Oh
Yes.
dear.
Oh,
Yes,
right. It was right after we did figure it out. Right after the Joker Harley like farmer thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Cece literally sat up, looked at me, was like, I was falling asleep, but I think that acid trip just woke me up, and then promptly passed out.
Hold up,
Yeah.
did you miss the whole mecha fight?
Yeah.
Oh!
Starting from like when Voltron happened.
The
Oh,
same
dear.
thing
Through the
happened
end.
when I took them to watch Promare.
Yeah, we discussed that.
Oh.
You are really not
Mecha
into
comes
mecha.
on screen. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which is
man.
funny because you
Tired.
were so into Voltron.
I know.
I think they just might have liked the other aspects
That
of
was all the
Voltron.
gay
Yeah.
tension.
Gay as
Oh.
hell.
Also, there was not much mecha in Voltron.
True.
There was
Fair.
not.
Yeah, Cece's like, this show's amazing. Ah, crap, they're getting the lions again.
Also,
care
like,
about
the
that.
lions
Just like
were
gays in
kind of like
space.
characters.
Yeah.
True.
Whereas,
Voltron herself, don't really care about that. Each of the kitties individually, yes.
like, I don't think the castle in this had feelings.
Hey, you don't know that.
I do think Two-Face's castle might have.
Oh, okay. I can see where
She
you're going
looked
with
like
that.
she had feelings.
Fair.
Unless that was Buddha. It might have been Buddha.
I think, yeah. Oh, I need to brush up on my Eastern religions
I
and
thought
symbology.
I thought it was Kali because the 6 arms, but like it's not Indian, so
I don't feel like I'm versed enough to make any sort of comment on this, so I'm gonna
either.
not.
Same.
Okay.
I can speculate, because hasn't there been some scientific research into whether plants have feelings, that possibly Poison Ivy's mecha partially had feelings?
Yes.
Sure.
But yeah.
Oh, I went back and watched the bit that I missed at work today. Not on my break or anything. I just had my phone propped up against the wall while I was working, and it was just kind of like, I hope nobody comes by and looks at this, because they'll be like, what the fuck are you watching? I did really like, at one point, all the Robins were going through, getting the villains, and like popping off their one-liners, like, I'm gonna wipe that half smile off, Two-Face. Time to break the ice, Penguin. And then Robin shows up and he's like, hey, Poison Ivy, you know you're not a plant, right? I'm like, what?
Got her.
Oh,
You know what the
boy.
sad part is, though, is that is the happiest Damian Wayne I've ever seen in any adaptation. Usually, Damian Wayne's like the edgelord of...
Damien.
That they did Damien real dirty. I'm debating whether they did Damien or Bane dirtier in this movie.
Very ironically, Damien may be the only Robin Cece actually has like a good idea of, because when I was watching all of the Batman movies to catch up, they just happened to watch the Damian Wayne reveal one. Yeah, that's his bratty ass fucking kid.
Oh, the DC.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
DC animated movies. You were going through a bunch of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
Which one did they jump
don't
in
know.
on? Son of Batman or what?
I have no recollection of this. I remember her telling me that I'd like Damien because he's a little emo bitch, but
No, you were
Emo.
watching it over my shoulder.
I remember the
He's very emo.
Batgirl movie.
Batgirl movie never happened.
I know.
No.
It's a shame because it was really good.
The Catwoman one, where Batwoman and Catgirl, or Bat and Catwoman got together, fought people, animated.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
I don't
that
think it ever came
one.
out.
I'm
No,
thinking-
it did.
it did.
No, that came out. I'm talking about the live action Batgirl movie that they
Oh,
burned.
no,
at the stake.
not that one. The one we watched, it was
Yeah.
definitely before it came out, though. Someone was
Cassie.
streaming it.
Cassie? Yeah, it is Cassandra, right?
Cassandra
No.
Cain. She's a Batgirl.
Well, that one.
She was voiced by, oh god, I just forgot her name.
Rosa from Brooklyn
Yes,
Nine-Nine.
from Brooklyn
I know who you're
Nine-Nine.
talking
Yes.
Honestly though, respects in that movie, Catwoman was trying to fuck the entire family.
Oh yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you?
No.
I would. Kate Kane is Batwoman.
Kozi doesn't like garbage men like I do. I also like, God, Robin was like yelling something. I think it was when he was gathering his monkeys. He started saying something like, yeah, all for one, we can do this. And I legitimately thought that I was getting an ad for My Hero Academia. I looked up and I was shocked to see it was still Batman.
Joker kind of looked like deflated All Might.
Yeah, he had a bit of the... this movie's a lot.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised with how many creative voices were on this, specifically from Japan. And Batman's tendency to slightly bastardize, but usually pay proper respect and homage to other cultures that they're borrowing from. How blatantly fucking disrespectful and a caricature most of this movie was. Like, oof. You can tell they made this for Western audiences to sell to specifically like white gamer boys.
I could see it. The problem is I feel like most white gamer boys have played like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, those games, so they should actually know some Batman lore, which I don't feel like was a high priority for the writing of this movie.
Yeah, they pretty much got the Batman, Alfred's his best friend, Selena Kyle is his romantic lead / backstabber, the four Robins, Harley and Joker, and that's pretty much it, because the rest of the villains are just props.
This was just made to be like flashy nonsense.
Yeah.
Like I said, a whole bunch of caricatures, a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense, which could be explained away in like a video game if you were like out there fighting, but like a lot of it is just way too quickly paced. It doesn't stop to like elaborate on anything.
No, but that would require research.
I mean, like, literally the main plot happens within the first 10 seconds of the movie. Batman fights Gorilla God, and they use a time machine to go back to feudal Japan. Like, that was literally the first minute of the movie. I was like, okay, we're going right for it. We're not wasting any time.
Which, in a video game, that could work. And then, also, Batman suddenly becoming, a daimyo lord and all that. That could have made sense. But also, Cece said, the whole premise of this was supposed to be Batman Ninja. The Ninja Clan wasn't even really ninjas.
I mean, what were ninjas? They were so secret.
It was all samurai stuff.
There's a little bit of crossover here and there with, as far as weaponry
They did,
and other stuff
3
goes.
Naruto signs.
Yeah, this does prove that Batman has seen Naruto. I would like to point that out.
I mean, the biggest thing that didn't make sense to me in the movie, and granted, I know that's a loaded statement, but, okay, they explained that Batman got fucked up more, so that's why, for a few seconds for him, it was 2 years later. So everyone was in that universe for 2 years. Got it. Fine. Whatever. The part that got me was you have a Batman Ninja Clan, and it wasn't stated that the Robins started it. No, it was supposed to be they worship Batman years before he was even thought of. So I'm thinking, how does that even work?
I may have an answer for you. It comes in some of the other comics and stuff. We're gonna go in a deep dive here. Oh god, what was it? 2010? Death of Batman and the Return of Bruce Wayne, where Dick became Batman for a while and Damian was his Robin. It was a result of Darkseid blasting Batman with an Omega Beam. Or Omega Ray. I forget if it was Beam or Ray sometimes. I get them mixed up. The point is, he put him in a thing called the Omega Sanction, which is where you go back in time and live out, the worst versions of your life throughout time and space. So it was essentially I'm going to torture you with life kind of thing. It's very, cosmic, kind of yada, yada, yada. But, essentially Bruce lived through various sections of human history and just suffered. But he's Batman, so he persevered through it all. So I would say there's a good possibility that in the future of this particular universe, Batman gets zapped by Darkseid, goes back in time, starts the Ninja Clan himself, and then meets the Ninja Clan later, but in his own past. Comic books. They make sense.
Prequel movie?
Sequel, prequel, sideways, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
That kind of reminds me of I haven't read it, but I know about it, the Emperor Joker storyline, where it's a universe where the Joker rules everyone, and so he repeatedly tortures Batman to death and makes him and revives him every single day to relive that.
Different because he stole the power of a fifth dimensional imp called Batmite.
It wasn't Mr. Mxyzptlk?
Batmite is a Mr. Mxyzptlk. But he's just super into Batman. And Mr. Mxyzptlk just likes to fuck with people.
Gotcha.
Comic books.
These words mean nothing to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Even though these words mean nothing to me, I think they make more sense than this movie.
Well, maybe. I was aware that as soon as I started talking about an explanation of how this Bat-Clan could happen, I was going to lose a good half of you, if not more. So, yeah. This movie's a lot.
They had such a good jumping off point in Damian, because Damian very famously grew up in the ninja assassin family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's killed people since he was, 2? Has a couple PhDs at the age of 8. Has a sense of entitlement that could do anything.
They're just yeah, this kid, he likes monkeys.
Okay, canonically, yeah, Damian does like animals. He has adopted a lot of animals, and that's the only part of the Wikipedia page that they read about Damian. It's very... I think I love and hate this movie. Because on one level, this is so out there bonkers, and I love a good out there bonkers wild ride kind of thing, which this movie is, but at the same time, as a Batman film, kind of this is a terrible adaptation of a lot of these characters. I think they haven't done Bane this dirty since Batman and Robin, which is widely considered one of, if not the worst Batman movie.
I mean, he had 10 seconds of screen time, so how can you say they messed him up?
Because they fucking messed him up.
They really...
because they just did what they did in Batman and Robin. It's bad when you pick Batman and Robin as the wiki page that you're going to get for this character.
I think premise-wise, this might have worked. Again, I really just want to hammer it home as a video game. Something that someone could have easily sank 50 hours into to build out a whole world and flesh out the characters. So even if they were poor adaptations, at least they had some meat and potatoes to them.
I'd argue that if you did do that, which I don't think is a bad idea, it's actually pretty good. I think you would have had to do just a little bit more research to flesh out the story, and it probably would have ended up making better versions of them. But I don't know. We'll never know. Until the day they make the Batman Ninja video game, which we'll all immediately go out and buy, I'm sure.
I mean, there is a sequel coming out this year.
Oh, we'll get to it.
Also, Batman continues to be the villain. He could have just fucking killed Joker.
Yeah, that's been around for a while.
I mean, that's been the moral quandary of Batman since the beginning. Why doesn't he kill the Joker?
The usual explanation is that it becomes a slippery slope, and then if he chooses to give up on his moral code once, it will be that much easier to do it again over and over and over again, until he ultimately becomes the monster that he is trying to stop. But, you know, you can go back and forth all day on this sort of thing, and people have. More importantly, what did we, enjoy or hate and all these other sort of things? Because there's it feels like it went really fast, and yet at the same time, I feel like so much got thrown in my face all at once. Oh, it's a trip. I gotta give a lot of praise to some elements of, the art style. It changes through a good number of these sections. I'm not the biggest fan of the CG elements, but when it's sitting still for a minute, this is a beautiful looking movie. And I will say that section with Joker on the farm and where they completely change the art style and everything else, I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I could watch a whole movie like this. This is actually really interesting to watch.
Yeah, the art style for that kind of reminded me a little bit of, how they did...
Kaguya?
Kaguya, yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of really great use of negative space and a lot more of a traditional look of Japanese art in that. It was really something. Though I don't think in any other way we could ever compare this to a Ghibli film.
No.
Not something I liked, something I hated. I hated the fucking character designs on every single one.
Go off.
God fucking damn.
Go into detail.
I liked Catwoman. I also liked Ivy. I like that she was pink, like the cherry blossoms. I thought that was cute.
No, that was a nice change. Making her pink for the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, but only put her in half a minute of the movie.
Yeah. Leaving her still in a leotard, but then putting on the shoulder guards. Yeah. Ivy, Harley, and Selena all having their tits blown out to all hell and always out.
I don't
that's
want to comment necessarily, but I feel the need to comment that there were some scenes where I'm like, I don't think boobs sit on the body that way. I'd be very wrong, but it felt weird.
Fucking funny enough, as much as I think it's ugly, Damien might have been the only really good character design for the time period, because that is typically how young boys training to be samurai would shape their hair.
Yeah.
Fucking Bruce as a missionary, I'm trying to hide!
So
She's the fucking bat signal into his head!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah.
Hey, man. He knows his brand. He puts it on everything. He's got to use it.
Wait. What if it was Alfred doing that?
Well, that was before they met Alfred, though.
Yeah, he didn't know Alfred was there yet.
That's right.
Oh, there you go. I liked
good.
Alfred's character design.
Yeah, that too.
Selene was doing it as
so
a
just
prank because
Alfred.
he can't see the top of his head.
Man. The weird little cat eye makeup they tried to give Selena, but just looked like two huge blobs on the side of her eye. What the fuck was that?
I see what they were going for. I just don't think it works as much on a 3D model as much.
Yeah, I think they were going for something more like one of the, a mask sort of design for those things on her face, but I'm you could have gone for something different.
Well, I think it was supposed to be how they do fox eyes.
Yeah.
Which is typically a really long line going underneath the eye and extending outwards.
Here's what I don't get, and I think it'll lean back again into, we didn't really think a whole lot about these before, other than just cursory glance kind of thing. Catwoman is a cat burglar. It kind of, that should be obvious. Her outfit includes a bell around her neck, which would always give away where she is at every given point in time.
But
I know that's a small thing.
But did you see she had little toe beans? She had little toe beans on her gloves and boots.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I I know it's dumb, but I'm gonna hone in on the little bell thing. I'm like, this is the exact opposite of everything about your character. You are stealthy. You're like stealthy like Batman stealthy, but you're gonna put a bell on so everyone knows where you are.
Yeah. Did we ever hear a jingle?
That's not the point.
Okay, it's the fucking Polar Express bell.
Oh, God. So none of us believe in Santa. Thanks for putting that in my head.
Yeah.
What was the hair in this movie, man?
Well, Nightwing had Goku hair. So...
Really bad Goku hair.
No, you know what? It was all kind of... You know what? It's more... No, it's Gohan hair. That's what it is. It's adult Gohan hair. Which makes sense, because that would make Batman Goku. Of course he would be.
Like, fucking Red Hood. Oh my god.
We didn't see his hair.
When he came on screen, I was like, that better not be Red Hood.
You know it's Red Hood.
They made him Red Sack.
A basket.
Well, what else were they gonna do? Give him an actual helmet? That actually would have been a good idea.
It was a ninja movie.
Honestly, a red samurai helmet would have been perfect.
Yeah.
It's actually a much better idea.
They could have put a samurai helmet on him with, like, the Oni mask, which is very traditional. They could have put him in a fucking ninja mask, which very traditionally covers the head all the way around.
Yeah.
But they put him in a fucking basket that he colored red.
Yep. Be real with me. Do you think they know a whole lot about Jason Todd other than he's the Red Hood? They know he's got beef with Joker. That's it. To be fair, I feel like that's a little... Probably a lot of people know about him.
Oh, yeah. Like, that was really funny in the scene where he's like, I'ma just kill him now. And Batman was like, he can't fool me. I know him better than anyone. And Jason's just standing there like, really?
Do we
If
want
I'm being honest, Batman. If I'm being honest, Batman was kind of stupid in this movie, like a lot. He didn't have a lot of common sense.
I really don't like the storyline they got Batman's thing for, more just on a conceptual level than anything else. But can we turn back for a second to Joker pulling the Kira hypnotize yourself thing? Like, they literally stole that from Death Note, right? We're all, and then, like, he's in the balloon, and it's all according to Keku, or whatever the subtitles were. Yeah, I don't speak Japanese. That should have been clear by now. So, but yeah, oh my goodness.
Oh, I will actually, something I liked. Huge, amazing props to the voice cast.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with what they were given. Were they in character? No, but for the characters they were given, they nailed it.
I'll give it to especially 3. I think Tara Strong is Harley Quinn. Well, she's been Harley Quinn a bunch of times already, so she knows what she has to do. Gray Griffin as Selena Kyle, who also has played Catwoman before, so she knows what to do. The newcomer to the character, I'm going to give points to Tony Hale, Buster, from Arrested Development as the Joker.
Oh yeah, he was great. I loved him.
When I was like, first watched this, I was like, I know that voice. Who is that? And then we had to look it up and we're like, oh my god, it's Buster. But he's kind of killing it.
Like, I don't feel like this is like our Batman, but
no.
The guy who voiced Batman did a very good job.
Yeah,
he voiced
like,
Batman. He voiced him in Arkham Origins, which was a prequel to the main Arkham series, and he's voiced him a few other times now. So he's done a little bit with
the emotion in that man's voice.
Yeah,
like very specifically, like the Joker "No" when they were like blowing themselves up, like.
Yeah,
he put in the work for that.
Well, I mean, I gotta give him points. Maybe not so much Arkham Origins, but you gotta give him points. He is Shadow the Hedgehog, or no, he's Sonic the Hedgehog. He knows how to be emotional. Those
are two very different characters.
Sorry, I'm reading things, and it's just he's the man Sonic. Sonic is Batman and Chris Redfield. So I don't know. Sometimes going through voice casts is really funny to think about these people being the same person.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time when I look up different voice actors on Wikipedia and just go through their filmography pages, and I'm just like, wait, you did this person, and you did this person, and that one. in that one too.
I guess that's a good time to bring up the version of the movie that I saw, because unlike you guys who watched the dub, I watched the sub, and it was I loved the subcast in it because they put their all into it too, and a lot of them I recognize because I'll just say this for all the JoJo people, you know Okuyatsu from Part 4?
No, haven't gotten there yet.
The one with the hand?
No, haven't gotten there yet.
Regardless, the guy who voices Joker in this movie in the sub, he's having a ball. He goes all out. And Gorilla Grodd is Dio's voice actor, so of course, you know, I loved that.
So, a lot of the English dub was very stupid throwaway jokes.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like in the sub? Because I do think they took it a bit more seriously.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of jokes or one-liners. It was more, it was like you said, just them reacting like a normal situation. And Batman was pretty stern in the sub. Joker was, you know, crazy, but, you know, typical crazy. Selena was more flirtatious with her delivery. Like Grey Griffin is too, don't get me wrong, but like the girl that they got to voice her.
Joker specifically in the dub, he was throwing jokes out like every 2 seconds, but like they were really bad jokes. I feel like I can say that, right, Al?
Yeah,
like,
but at the same time,
not really hitting.
I don't always feel like most of Joker's jokes are actually funny. He's more of like, sometimes they're funny, but like, and it depends on the version you're writing, but I feel like most of the time Joker's the kind of character who's like, if I'm laughing at it, that's all that matters. Kind of thing.
I will say in the sub, it makes it seem like the Joker is more aware of his surroundings and he's more smarter than he's probably the smartest person in the room, even smarter than Grodd half the time. Like he's like you mentioned Light before, like he acts a lot like Light in this movie, ironically, because he's always a few steps ahead of people, and he just when you think he's maybe defeated, he one-ups people, and he gets across like that the sub.
It's not an uncommon way of writing the Joker, at least I've seen a lot nowadays. Because, yeah, I mean, how else do you fight the Batman? You gotta also be, like, the smartest guy in the room if you're gonna trick the smartest guy in the room, you know?
And it's kind of funny, too, with, like, I get it, in this movie they wanted to exaggerate him because, you know, they wanted to make him a samurai that fights with Batman with samurai sword at the end. But, like, I've seen versions of the Joker where he can barely take Batman in a fight, and then I've seen versions of the Joker where he's on par physically with Batman, like he's an actual capable fighter, so yeah, it's weird seeing that.
Well, see, that's where I think being insane would actually be to his advantage, because a lot of people like that can just, what is pain? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the PCP strength kind of thing.
Yeah.
I agree with that. There's also an element to that as far as like, you could look at unpredictability. Especially like when you look at someone who's like, you know, trained in fighting a lot, there's a lot of elements that include like, you know, recognizing patterns and stuff. And when you don't have a pattern, it sometimes can be hard to fight that as well. But I think Joker a lot of times is just kind of a result of just the writer has to make them formidable or has to make them work in the story. So their ability is going to range wildly. And, like, even looking in, like, the comic book history and that, it's insane how, like, it's like 1 minute you are the most incompetent and then you are the most competent person.
I really want to, like, the ending fight with Joker was really well done. Like, that is probably the most insane Joker's ever felt to me.
It's up there. I want to say maybe there's another one, but I'm going to have to, like, think through that.
Yeah, like, you gotta really think of it, but...
Yeah.
I mean, the one where he literally ripped his face off and stapled it back on.
To be fair, he had someone else cut that off for him. I do remember that storyline.
I'd also like to nominate Jared Leto, but, like, when the cameras weren't rolling.
Yeah.
We don't need to give him credit for stuff.
Yeah.
This is gonna fly over, like, everyone's heads, but he was really, like, giving Yoshimitsu from Namco games.
Yeah, it's over my head.
Tekken, Soul Calibur.
Yeah. Yeah, I know who he is, yeah.
Which works. Yoshimitsu is a really, really beloved character. So, again, I think this could have worked. It just needed to be a game.
Should I be picking up Tekken? Or a version of Tekken? I feel like I don't want to go through the entire series. It's going to take me forever, but...
Yeah, no, he's just kind of like... I always thought he was clown-like. I don't think he actually is, but... He's always wearing like an ogre demon mask, and he's like a crazy samurai ghost.
Tekken's
Oh, pretty
Capcom,
cool.
right? You can do the Capcom fighting game. Is that close enough?
I don't know if he's in there.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, because you have a limited roster.
If you just want to see kind of like him being insane and not really getting into like story or anything, I would do one of the Soul Calibur games he's in.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever really gotten into that series either, but, I feel like there's a lot of, like, classic series that I should probably, like, take a revisit at some point. Maybe Batman Ninja will be one of those.
Yeah, you don't strike me as like a competitive fighting type player.
I had a few growing up, but it was like didn't have a lot of people who also wanted to play him, so it was like, okay, I'm just playing against the computer the whole time, and it gets old after a while.
We need like the list, but for video games you haven't played.
That's true. I mean, I feel like there's a lot we all haven't played to some degree.
I also feel like Al is not really like a FPS kind of person, though.
I used to play the shit out of those.
Used to being the keyword here.
Yeah, but also I used to do a lot of things before I had to get a job and work for a living.
Yeah.
I feel like we can all relate to that.
I was gonna say, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure most.
I also used to be, what was the word? Happy?
Yeah,
That's
I
not
feel
great.
like for a lot of people, or at least like cis guys in their teenage years, a lot of them were playing first-person shooters if they had the consoles to play them.
Really calling
Okay,
me
no,
out
wait.
there,
I'm
Chibi.
sorry. I gotta know. Were you COD or Halo?
I did a little bit of both.
No, you have
It
to
really
pick a
depended
side.
on who I was. I'd probably a little bit more COD, but if it would depend on because I would
Ew.
sometimes go over to other people's houses, so it was like some people were Halo people, some people were COD people, and I was like, I will play whatever. I'm just happy to hang out and do stuff.
I'm a COD
Also
hater.
a little bit of Gears of War here and there, but
Oh,
not as
Gears
much.
of War
as
was
one.
good.
I was gonna say, like, I think you and my brother had similar tastes.
I really
Back
liked
then.
Assassin's
Gears of
Creed for a
War.
while, but that's an
Assassin's Creed's so
entirely
good.
different genre, I guess. But
I'm sorry. Didn't Assassin's Creed start out as like a kind of platformer,
yes,
kind of fighting? You hate
Stealth.
platformers.
It was
and
more
stuff.
it was more grounded and less open world back in the day.
More stealth based than.
I played through like Rogue, I think, and then I was like, I don't have the money or time to spend on this right now. And I haven't heard a ton of good things about the last decade of their stuff, so I don't know that I need to catch up.
There.
So yeah.
This is Patreon content.
It is. It really is. So, Batman Ninja, do we, just because I don't feel like we covered the plot. We got the basic premise. There's some hypnotism going on. Everyone's got a
Wait,
castle.
how far in are we?
We're way far in, but, there's a lot of weird stuff to talk about here. So, yeah, plot's gonna get lost in the sauce, as it should, sometimes. All the villains took over a portion of Japan and then built mecha castles that transformed into a Megazord that Joker put a balloon head on, and then he was going to take over Japan until Damien used Rod's magic flute to brainwash a bunch of armored monkeys into a giant super monkey that then got covered in bats that turned into a giant Batman.
Yep.
Plot.
The monkeys were separate from the bats. Can we get that clear?
I said they formed a giant thing, and then the bats came around them, and then they all formed a giant thing. It's
no,
a two-stage
the monkeys were not part of
transformation.
that.
The monkeys were
The
part of that.
monkeys were separate from the bats. The bats made up the giant Batman.
Yes,
The monkeys
they
were their own
wrapped
separate
Okay,
thing.
were we watching different movies? The monkeys made the giant monkey, and then the bats wrapped around the giant monkey to make a giant Batman. And then the
Then how
monkeys
did the
and
monkeys
bats
come out
came,
and destroy the castle?
they came out of the giant Batman's arm because they were part of it.
They were not.
This movie didn't
They
make
were.
any sense. Don't argue about it.
We are arguing over the only thing that makes sense: monkeys and
Meet
bats.
me in the Ninja Batman game.
Me-
We're gonna fight it out.
I will see you on the plains of hell. That was what they called it, right?
Yeah.
Or
I
whatever
was
the
asleep during
destination
this.
Yeah, that line was actually kept in the sub.
Kozi, I will see you on the plains of hell, and we will eat ice cream. And whoever gets
I think the
brain
ice
freeze.
cream might melt.
Whoever gets brain freeze, we have to eat it fast. So whoever gets brain freeze first loses. I thought through this vaguely.
This is no.
To be fair,
Logistically, this
hold
is
on,
a competition
hold on.
stacked against you.
I put
Oh,
as
no.
much thought into our competition as they probably did the characters in this movie. So it works.
Elle, you have a
Wow.
much bigger mouth than me. you're gonna eat way more ice cream, you're gonna get the brain freeze first.
But you're thinking that my brain works. That was your mistake.
Why is this more Patreon content?
I don't know. I
This
don't
is
think you guys
double
want to talk about
Patreon
Batman
content.
Ninja.
I
think that's what's going on here.
I was just about to say the thing. This is the conversations we have on the air. Imagine the conversations we have off the air.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
That would be OnlyFans content.
Oh no.
Whoa, that's a different
I mean,
conversation
we
altogether.
are usually naked, so that's something. But
Don't give them that idea.
You know what? We do have a picture of Al's ass.
yeah, honestly, I feel. Has anyone here not seen my ass?
I don't think so. We put
But
it
there
in
you
the
go.
group
There you
chat.
go. I think we all. I'm not a shy person.
No, Patrick. Do you want to? No.
Okay. Normally, I think I would want to have Yin here to discuss this more thoroughly, but Kozi, you're probably I feel like you're a little more in the know on this one. So can we talk about how out of character a lot of people were?
Oh my god.
It went
Not gonna
somewhere
lie,
that
I was
wasn't bad.
I was kind of hoping you were going to finish that sentence. Can we talk about my ass more?
I
Look.
think it looks very good when it's shaved.
I mean, it doesn't happen often, but I'll agree with you.
Yeah, so maybe, like, the two people I think are in character. Props to Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Props to, I feel like Red Hood was very in character.
Enough,
I mean,
yeah. Not
Harley
particularly
was
deep, but they didn't give him enough, like, screen time
Yeah.
to go deep.
I mean, Harley wasn't character in that she was the Joker fangirl. Harley,
Yeah,
the sidekick.
yeah.
Harley.
I don't like that version of Harley Quinn, though, so I'm gonna...
But it is accurate to a version of her.
Yeah, but I don't like that, so
Agreed.
straight
but-
in the trash.
Yeah, again, Bane got done so dirty because they basically just did Batman and Robin. If you've seen the movie,
Yeah.
you know what I'm fucking talking about, so...
Literally
That's-
just... Bane isn't, like, stupid.
He's the
also
opposite.
not...
Like,
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah,
it when people do that to him, because, like, when
He's
he...
also not fat. That's all, like,
Yeah.
roided up muscle.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You wanted to go on theme, you wanted to do sumo. Sure, a sumo would be the biggest guy in the room, I guess. But I don't know.
I brought it up before, but Arkham Origins, I mentioned that game earlier. Bane's one of the main villains in that game, and to me, that is the best version of Bane I've seen, because he has the giant-ass size and brutality of most incarnations of Bane, but he has the smarts and the intimidation of Tom Hardy's Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. So to me, it was like the best combination of both
like-
worlds.
Bane is a villain who is like the Joker, but willing to go beyond in the fact of what he is willing to do to himself to win.
Yeah, and, well, I mean, also, I don't think he's obsessed with Batman in the way that Joker is.
No, definitely not.
Joker does things because of Batman, versus Bane's like, Batman's an obstacle.
Actually, that is probably the only detraction from the character of Joker in this. Is Joker straight up, I want to kill Batman. Like, that's not Joker. That's not what Joker wants. If Batman's dead, what does he have?
It is a thing explored here and there. And I think some Jokers have realized, no, I need him.
I mean, that was an episode of the animated series. Joker thought Batman died. He's
Yeah.
like, without Batman, life has no punchline.
Sid the Squid, the man who killed Batman.
A lot of Joker's character and motivations is specifically just to fuck with Bruce.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want much beyond that.
I mean, I think there's the element of... Well, I was going to say he wants Batman to kill him, but again, that is mostly to fuck with him. So yeah, no, still on point. Other people here... I'm not as familiar as much with Grodd in the comics. I didn't read a ton of Flash, but I do remember him from Justice League.
He's a giant super ape that is intelligent.
I'm aware
so,
of who
yes.
he is. I'm saying that I haven't read this. I'm like, I know who every single one of these people are. Don't take me saying I don't know as much as I don't know anything. I know who these
Well,
fucking
yeah,
people
I
are.
know that. I'm just...
Gorilla Grodd just felt like an overtired play that we've seen 100 times before.
Little bit. I don't know. It's just part of my issue here, I think, is that I think Joker does good because they wanted to focus on Joker. I feel like a bunch of the other like villains really get sidelined and don't have a good opportunity to like show off that they're cool.
I get why the other ones would want to take over Japan, except for Ivy.
Yeah, like with Two-Face, Penguin, and Deathstroke, they have a history of like trying to take territory, whether it's through organized crime or like paramilitary action type stuff.
But like, she doesn't want to take over the world. She
kind of reverts it.
Yeah. And she ended up in a feudal time period where, whoa, look at nature. It's lush, it's thriving. There's a lot of really rare plants that she's probably getting access to for the very first time in her life. And you expect me to believe she didn't just nerd out like, oh my god, look at it. And she went, no. I'm going to be the supreme ruler of Japan.
I think there could be an in-universe argument. Grodd did like do some wonky mind control to all of them to make them want to take over Japan, make their giant mecha castles and all that. So
but they didn't flesh that out.
I think he did straight up say that.
He did straight up say
that.
But
how did he mind control them?
I mean, that is his thing. Gorilla Grodd is a giant gorilla who mind controls people. That's his whole shtick.
They didn't go into like the how. They just kind of like pulled it out of nowhere. If you did not know Gorilla Grodd, you'd be like, what the fuck was that?
No, I hear you on that 100%. So
I mean, as someone who has absolutely no idea what is going on, I just took it for how it is. And for Poison Ivy, maybe it's just she now has a castle that is actually run by plants, is not actually really a mecha. Maybe she just wants to, keep Japan sort of more rural, at least in her region, whatever, We can speculate. I'm just throwing shit out there because I'm like, for her character, that would be the thing that made sense.
Yeah. Like she's trying to national park it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they probably kept her because she is a famous Batman villain, and also it would keep her on a certain theme, like where you can have a bit more variety with your characters. Like, I'm trying to think of like another character who would be like territory and like I want to be in charge of everything oriented. Black Mask, maybe, but that'd be a little too much personality. Two-Face.
You could have.
Riddler's not a bad idea.
Scarecrow in.
Riddler would also.
You could have
like
thrown
the
Scarecrow in.
Scarecrow.
You want to know who would have been really fucking good? Raghul. Raghul.
Raish, yeah, but also he doesn't like live in Gotham, so it might be harder to get him. He's like an away team kind of guy.
Yeah, but he would have had no drive to go back to the future. Why is he concerned?
What about Talia? She's in Gotham a lot more. Plus, then you'd actually have something for Damien to do.
Damien does want to save his mother.
Yeah.
But, that would have made much more sense. It would have worked a lot better with the setting. And again, they don't have to be worried about getting back to the future. All they have to go do is find the fucking Lazarus Pit.
Honestly, given how long ago, they could probably just go find Grandpa. Just be like, hey, we're them, but future, so we'll hang out.
We have knowledge for you.
Yeah, oh my god. Talia going back in time to tell Raish how to better take over the world. That's...
Exactly!
You know what, to be fair, I think they already did that in Justice League, but with Vandal Savage. That end of the first season thing.
I don't care, it would have worked better.
Yeah.
I think you could have thrown Mr. Freeze in here.
That could have been fun. I think he would have been a little more interesting than Penguin, and could have actually given a reason for so much mecha stuff going on.
And also a very strong desire to get back to the future.
Yeah, that as well. Like,
I'm assuming he did not bring Nora with him.
No, generally you don't want to do that. To be fair, he also have like a bit of a problem with like the archaic technology and keeping alive. So, I don't know. We might be getting lost in the sauce a little bit.
I'm super lost.
Same.
I like how Penguin had an army of penguins. I didn't know that about him.
I mean, it's in the name. Oh my god.
Yeah, he has some penguins, but like, he has henchmen.
Kozi.
Henchmen I would expect.
Kozi, we gotta show CC Batman Returns with the rocket penguins.
I've seen that.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. Apparently the new Penguin show is really good.
I need to watch it.
Same.
I've had to hold off for now, but yeah.
I think Deadshot works in this context. I don't understand, like, using him as, like, one of the, oh, yes, this is one of those notable, big, everyone thinks of this when they think of Batman villains.
Yeah, I don't.
I do not think he's up there.
No.
Not as a Batman villain. He's definitely a big villain. He's more of a Titans villain and just a general DC universe villain. I mean, he's an assassin and a mercenary, so he can kind of go around.
Yeah, but... I think you were kind of saying this during the movie. You were like, this would make more sense for Teen Titans.
Well, I mean at the
Gorilla
very
Grodd's
least,
not even a Batman villain either. He's
a Flash villain, and it's very weird. But at the same time, I'm trying to think of what other Batman villain would think of a time machine.
I recognized all of them except for... I didn't know that Donkey Kong was a Batman villain.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's not a Batman villain. He's a Flash villain, because Flash is a platformer.
Okay, I'm sorry. DC villain.
Yeah, I think what I was saying during the movie was that I actually expected Nightwing to fight Deathstroke, because Nightwing is Dick Grayson. He was on the Teen Titans. He fought Deathstroke before. There's a personal thing there.
Oh, yeah, they gave it to Red Robin, didn't they?
Yeah, which, okay, well, he was more of the Young Justice team.
No, they gave it to Red Hood.
Oh, why? Because they
Not
both have
Red Robin,
guns?
Red Hood.
That's dumb.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
See, again, had they done just a little bit of research, beyond just the first paragraph on Wikipedia, they might switch things around and be like, oh, this makes more sense. You could have... I don't know. I feel like I'm getting butthurt to get butthurt. I will say this, because I got butthurt recently this month over Suicide Squad Isekai, because I was saying that it was very boring and uninteresting what they did. Weirdly enough, this is what I wish they would have done. Just go fucking crazy and make something, if not, okay, stupid, yes, but very entertaining on a different level. Because I actually really enjoyed watching this again.
I wish, I really, really, really wish they would have picked, an identity. It looked like they were yeah, we want to do Japan. Which Japan? Old Japan, New Japan? And they were like, yes.
I feel like that's exactly what the whole conversation is like. Hey, what do you want to put in the movie? Yes. So wait,
Japan.
Do you want to put everything in the movie? Yes.
I think if they would have, really just angled the, oh my god, they became warlords, they took over, they had an easy time, Poison Ivy because she actually has, magical fucking powers, but
yeah,
the other ones because they had technology and, the know-how. Or you would have just done, they went to Japan and built giant mechs. Either or could have been, good on its own. Putting them in a box and shaking it to try and mix them did not work very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I also have a bit of an issue with the technology of not the techno. I feel like there are certain plots that some people will write for Batman and how they write him that are okay, I don't think you fully get it. And this is one of those kind of plot lines for him where I'm the people writing it, okay, you don't really get Batman that well.
And they tried to do a deep emotional, what can I do?
Yeah.
If I don't have technology.
Yeah.
And Batman has very extensively trained himself in all kinds of martial arts.
That's the whole point. And that's here Batman uses gadgets not because he can't do the things the gadgets do, it's just that the gadget can help him do it faster. You take away his utility belt, which is a pretty common thing, he can still do everything that he could do with the utility belt without it. This is never an issue for him, and I kind of don't like when people write these stories that are all Batman is his technology. That's an Iron Man story. That's
I mean, the joke is, but it's also kind of serious. Give Batman enough time for preparation, and he can beat anybody.
Yeah, it's what is Batman without his utility belt? He's Batman. This changes nothing.
You could have had sentimental value in the car being destroyed if you wanted him to have a moment.
Maybe, but he's also had 40 of them. I don't know.
That was my favorite one. I just got it detailed last week.
Okay, nothing for nothing. I would love to see Batman's car blow up, and he just looks at it stokely. He's like, I just had that thing detailed.
But I don't know, that. You could have had his really deep philosophical moments when he was I just keep trusting the wrong people and falling for the same tricks. Which I feel they were trying to lean into, but they really pushed instead on the technology thing.
Yeah.
But for how easy he got duped the entire movie.
Yeah. I think it kind of goes back to what I've said before about they don't really like do that deep of a dive into the characters and stuff, and they didn't like research a lot of things. Because again, I think if you put Iron Man in this situation, take away his suit, and he's stuck with like archaic stuff, yeah, he's gonna have a moment of really being like, well, what am I without the suit? But then
they did do that. That was Iron Man 3.
Exactly. So we know that works, but that works for the character because, yes, it is easy for him to think that all he is his tech. Batman doesn't think that way. At least a well-written Batman wouldn't. But
I also I don't understand what Selina's motivations were supposed to be in this. She wanted to go back to the future. Okay, great. Why did she betray Batman? Is she wanted to go back to the future because she knew that was also his goal. When she went to Gorilla Grodd, I spent that entire time waiting for her to double-cross him, like, haha, I was secretly just trying to get in your good graces so I could steal all the things for the Quake engine. But that never happened.
I go back to, they read the first page of the Wikipedia. She's a femme fatale who always betrays Batman. So she betrayed Batman. And then they kept her out of the story until they needed her again. Yeah. I don't know. We probably could have written this better. Maybe not come up with the fight scenes as well. But,
I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe we're also, again, you guys all have valid points, but maybe we're overthinking it. Maybe we're just overthinking this stupid anime film that a bunch of animators in Japan were probably like, you know what? Let's make a Batman anime and we'll just go bonkers to the wall because we never know if we'll have another shot at this.
I realize we're overthinking it, but the bar's low when it was underthought to begin with. And I've just realized we keep bouncing around to different ideas of like, who else could have been here that would actually want to get territory? Bane's right there! Why didn't they use Bane as one of the main ones?
At the end of the day, this just felt kind of like a mindless cash grab. Like, oh look, we put out a new Batman thing.
It is getting into those years, like, I don't think the year's ever started or ended. But, yeah, there's been a lot of those. And it's Warner Brothers, and they're not too dissimilar to Disney in that they're gonna put out a half-baked product half the time. I mean, I will say I've had more fun with this than a lot of other half-baked products that Warner Brothers and Disney have come out with in recent years, so it means something, I guess, but...
See, the thing is, I didn't have fun. I feel like I could have had fun. If this was a game and you were going through this world and you were, like, building upon it.
You'd have a real emotional and time investment then. That would create a stronger bond to what the story's doing.
Mm-hmm. It also would have led much more impact to if you have more time passing, like, visually, thinking, like, the Joker did turn a new leaf, thinking Gorilla Grodd is on your side.
Yeah.
There was none of that connect. I didn't care about these characters because they didn't feel like Batman.
Yeah. I don't know, do we have any other things to talk about this one? I'm trying to think if there's any stone we've left unturned at this point.
I have nothing.
They're making a sequel?
Yes. Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League, which I guess is they're doing Earth 2 with the Crime League situation.
I mean, it's evil. I guess it's kind of evil Justice League.
Yeah, that's what Earth 2. The usual term for whatever the evil universe is Earth 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm just going to wrap this into final thoughts. This was super silly, and it was dumb, and it was not a great adaptation of Batman. But again, I had a weirdly fun time laughing at the silly parts of it, laughing at the parts that didn't make sense. But also, the action actually was pretty good. That was a really good sword fight at the end. I do like giant robots smashing each other. But to be fair, I think if you haven't learned this already, I'm very easy to entertain sometimes. So, you had to really fuck up for me to absolutely hate something. So, I mean, I say light yay. This is not a great thing, but it's at the very least, it's entertaining in how bizarre it is. And I'm hoping that Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League, which I will be watching when it comes out, I'm hoping it's entertaining in a similar way.
Yeah, I would also give it a light yay. I don't really have, the context for a lot of Batman lore. And neither am I, really all that familiar with a lot of other things for the franchise. But I had fun. I thought this was like a good time. It's kind of like I don't really have a whole lot of expectations, so I'm going in blind, and the product for me, like not knowing the IP probably as well as some other people, is actually probably more of a benefit to me than I would say to the actual fans of the property itself. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
I'm a yay. Like I said, it's stupid, doesn't make a lot of sense, but I had fun. And any issues I had with any of the characterization, I just pointed to, it's an Elseworlds story. It's not the main DC canon. What, 616? Is that what it's called?
That's Marvel.
616 is Marvel,
isn't it?
Oh, shit.
Generally
whatever
speaking,
the main...
it's just Earth 1, 2, Prime, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Just regular Earth 1 is
okay.
What you say.
I just consider this a weird Elseworlds story, so if the characters didn't make sense, well, there you go. But, yeah, I had fun. It was stupid. Turn your brain off for 85 minutes. Enjoy some weird, crazy fights. Enjoy the performances. And, yeah, that's all I can really say.
It was really pretty. It was really ugly. It made no sense. It was not good. It was fun. I give it a light yay.
So what did you think of the movie, Cece? Yes.
Yes. Japan,
I
period.
feel like we're all saying the same thing. It's just becoming more and more succinct until Cece said it.
Oh boy, I get to be a super contrarian here. I'm like a hard nay.
That's fair.
Not my Batman. Like, I don't know who would actually, enjoy this. If you want something Batman, you're most likely not gonna enjoy this. If you want something, really cool ninja, you're not gonna enjoy this.
0 for 2.
Can they go 0 for 3, though?
There's only 2 words in the title.
If this was a game, I think it would stand a fighting chance, because there are plenty of Batman games where all of the characters are really just not traditionally how they're normally characterized, and it works. Because you have the time to, spend with them and build it up. Whereas this just felt like you were watching 80-minute, all cutscenes, no gameplay video on YouTube. And, it went a lot from, point A to point B, and you're like, why is this the progression? Why is this happening? So, as a narrative, I think it failed, too. Just go watch something else, Batman.
I mean, well, we're certainly gonna, because we have one more entry for the month, and it's another Batman, and it's a Batman, quite frankly, I love. I don't know how everyone else is gonna feel, but yeah, Lego Batman is next week.
Love Lego Batman!
I'm so glad you said that. I don't know who doesn't like Lego Batman. Lego Batman is so much fun.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh,
Same.
Okay, we're not gonna spoil it for you.
I have not
It's gonna
either.
What? You have the DVD and you did... Oh, Kozi,
Yeah, I don't
this
think
is a
it's
failing
open.
on your part. I blame you for this.
Oh yeah, we never watch movies together anymore.
Well, you know what? I the last 2 weeks we've all been watching these together. Maybe this just changes a little bit.
Have you guys ever seen the Lego movie?
Yes.
I saw the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
Lego Batman is just the same Batman from the Lego movie.
Great, I love
Yeah,
it.
I know.
I figured. I've just never seen the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah. Well, next week you're gonna, and we're gonna be doing that, and then next week we'll also announce what we'll be doing for December and everything else past that.
I can see the argument for whatever last week was and for this week, and it's basically anime, but how does Lego Batman tie into it's basically anime?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Kozi, because I wanted to watch Lego Batman. Do I
It's
need a better
animated,
excuse
it's
than that?
Batman.
No, I guess not. My bad.
I mean, I think to a certain extent, the Lego movies, they're basically anime.
Anime
Crazy enough
in
with
Japan
the vibes.
just means
To be fair,
animation. Technically, everything's anime.
I don't know where the Lego movies were animated. They could have been animated over in either Korea or Japan.
I mean, I don't think it particularly matters because we're watching it next week no matter what, because it's Lego Batman and it's fun, and we hope you all enjoy it when we watch it and discuss it. Come join us for that. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!